Hello everyone. Can you hear me? Good afternoon. Can you all hear me? I'm audible to everyone? Any one of you can please unmute yourself and give a reply. That everything will be well. Voice is not clear, but is it audible, right? Hello.
Sir, the voice is too low.
Voice is too low.
Yes, sir, we couldn't hear you
Okay.
properly. The words.
Okay, no issue. I will be little louder now. I hope am I audible now, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, anyone can give me. Okay, okay. So this is enough, right? Good afternoon to everyone. We are meeting first time in this meet as well as in your class. I'm coming here first time. And as you know that I'm going to take your subject BS, Digital Fundamentals, right? So today we are just starting our lab session actually. Yet we don't have any class session first for the subject matter discussion. But let us we start our session today with basic information regarding the subject, so that will help you to start with our experiments. So actually, we will be not going to start with the experiment today. That will be taking you to not going to understand like content which will be yet to discuss in the class. I will start with the experiments. So that kind of thing will be not making here today. So is all have joined or is anyone yet to join the session? What is the strength of your whole batch? I can see that yet only 11 students has joined the session. Uh, is any more going to join now or should we start that now? Okay. Okay. Can you see my screen right now, which I said to you? Can you see the aim of experiment which I displayed on the screen right now?
Yes, sir.
Anybody please unmute? Okay. So this is what actually our first experiment that will be the verification and interpretation of the truth table for the logic gates like AND or NOT, NAND, NOR, XOR, and XNOR. Okay. So before we proceed to discuss about all these logic gates, let us me introduce myself and then the subject and then we'll be taking this experiments. Okay. So myself, Atul Kunabra, belongs to Electrical Engineering Department here in Nagaland Education Foundation, and I'm going to teach you the subject Digital Fundamentals. So in this Digital Fundamentals subject, what we are going to learn, that is, as the subject name itself suggests you that it is the fundamental of digital circuits. So we'll be starting with the basic difference between the digital and analog circuits, and then you will be taught in more detail about what could be the digital circuits, what types of digital circuits are there, and how the digital circuits are going to work, and so that everything will be taking, and some digital circuit concept also we are going to teach in the subject. Okay, so anybody from your side can reply me that what basic thing you know about digital circuits? Yes, anybody from your side? Can you just let me just get to the screen here. Can you just tell me that what are the things you are aware about digital circuit subject? Anybody? Shubham, Naisabi, Vartika, Kunj, Kevin, Yes, Dev, Jay, Aditi, anyone? Pujan. Can you just tell me whatever thing you know? It's not necessary that you know everything or full concept. Whatever thing, even if you have heard something from somewhere, you just tell me about the things you know about the chess and the subject right now. Yes, anybody? Tell me a few words, whatever you know. No one is replying. Let me ask my name. Pujan, can you tell me something, whatever you know about digital? Hello, Pujan, I am audible to you? I'm asking to you, Pujan, can you reply me? I'm asking you, Pujan, that the thing which you are knowing about digital circuits or digital fundamentals, anything, whatever you know about the subject. Hello. Yes, Nesaki, you have got your reply. Digital circuits carry out logical operation. Okay, that's fine. Very good. Anyone other want to tell about digital circuits? Whatever thing in your mind, just let me know so that I can come to know that what thing with you right now and from where we should start. One thing that what Naisaki has said that digital circuits which will carry out a logical operation. Okay, Vartika is saying that they have output in either 0 or 1. Yeah, that's what the thing is. Very good. Study of digital signal. Okay, yes, it's saying something about that. Yes, digital means it's working with digital signals. Absolutely. Yes, anyone, any more review from your side? They are expressed using logical expressions and circuit symbols. Okay, very good. Digital circuit is a field of electron. This is something not relevant to digital here. Field of electron means it is like for any circuits, right? Whether it is analog circuits or digital circuits. Wherever you find electricity, that will be a field of electron because that will be the electron present, right? So it's not just for digital circuits. Okay. Anyway, let me just introduce about the circuits first. So any electrical circuit, we can divide it in two parts. That is what one we can say it is an analog circuit, and second one that is what we call it is a digital circuits. So the very basic fundamental difference between these two circuits is what? That analog circuit means it will work with analog signals, and digital circuits means it will work with the digital signals. Now, what is the difference between these two, analog signals and digital signals? So, if we just differentiate between these two, analog signals are those signals which is changing with respect to time continuously. Means there will be a multiple number of, or you can say very large number of values with that signal with respect to time. Whereas in case of digital signals, at any point of time, if you see the output or input or signal magnitude, it will be going to be either 0 or 1. That's what we call it as the logical signals. So this is what the basic fundamental difference between the two circuits, analog circuits and digital circuits. If I give you example, like for example, you are measuring the temperature of your room. So the temperature can be any value, right? Present time it may be 25 degree. Sometime if we find it 26 degree, 27 degree, or maybe 29, 30, something like that. If you put on your AC on, the temperature maybe it's down 22, 23, something like that. Means the value of the temperature which you are measuring from your room, that could be any different values. So it's not going to be fixed either 25 or 30 or 0, something like that. It is not having any fixed value. It can be any value from 0 to higher anyone. So that is called analog signal, where your values can be having any magnitude. Whereas if you look at the digital signals, then digital signals are those signals who is having only two possibilities, right? Either on or off, either 0 or 1, right? Either yes or no, like that. If I give the example, let's say you are having a door. The door either can be open or closed, right? So you can have that kind of thing in the digital signals, right? For example, if I say about a switch of fan, that could be either on or off. Means your fan can be either in on condition or off condition. So this kind of behaviors of the signal is called the digital signals. So this is what the difference between the two circuits. One circuit that will work with the analog signals will be called as the analog circuits, and the other circuit which will work with the digital signals, that will be known as the digital circuits. Now, these circuits are having different types of working, or you can say different scenario in which they are going to work, and they are having different construction and all that things. So in our subjects, we are not going to include analog part. We are only going to talk about digital circuits. So how that digital circuits are going to form and how it will be working. So in digital circuits, it will be working with the logic levels. So there could be two types of logic levels. One, that is what we call it is a active low logic, and other is called active high logic. So what this is, when I say digital signals is having output either 0 or 1, so that what is 0 and 1? Is it a number only? When we talk about the signal will not have that number. It will be having some magnitude of voltage. That is, you can say when you have a 0 volt, you can say it is a 0 logic. And when you have a something, let's say 5 volt, we can say it's a logic 1. I hope you're getting what I'm trying to say. Am I making the thing clear, everyone? In between, you please keep on giving me some message so that I can come to know. Yes, very good, very good. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So what I'm saying is, there are two types of digital logic circuits are there: active low logic circuits and active high logic circuits. So normally we are using a voltage level to represent our signal logic level. That is, when I want to say 0 volt, it means that will be 0 volt. for the logic 0. And when I say 5 volt means to represent logic 1, I will be using to 5 volt. It means in my signal, if 5 volt is coming, I can understand that there is a logic 1. If 0 volt is coming, I can understand that there is a logic 0. And if there is this type of logic we have adopted in our circuit, we can say this is an active high logic. Active high logic means your high voltage means 5 volt is considered as a logic 1 and 0 volt is considered as a logic 0. That is why it is called active high logic circuit. Whereas in different case, that is active low logic circuit. In that there is a reciprocal of this thing. That is, when I having a 5 volt, I can understand it as a logic 0, and when there is a 0 volt, I will understand it as a logic 1. Right? So the circuit which represents 0 volt as a logic 1 and 5 volt as a logic 0, it is known as the active low kind of circuit, or it is called as a active low logic circuits, digital logic which is actively low. Okay, so this is the difference between these two. But anyway, in the digital signals, we will be having either 0 or 1 as the output. Whatever information we want to share or whatever information we want to process in the circuit, that information will be having signal in which your signal will have either 0 or 1. That means it will have either 0 volt or 1 volt. So that is the way of which we will be having a digital signals. Now the digital circuits, that is again of two types. Digital circuits can be divided into broad category. That is what one we can say it is a combinational logic circuit, and another one is called the sequential logic circuit. Now, what is combinational logic? Combinational logic means in this combinational logic circuits will be making the combination of various logical statements. I mean to make clear here that when I say combination, so we are making the combination of various tasks. Right? Sometimes you have some criteria like that. Suppose if door is open, then only you can enter in the room. But after you enter into the room, if electricity is available, then only you will be able to start your monitor or your desktop. So if you have been asked the question like that, when you will be able to turn on your desktop, then there are two conditions should be satisfied. That is, your door should be open, which your door should have logic 1. Then you should enter into the room, and after you enter into the room, electricity should be on. Then only you will be able to turn on your desktop. So this is what simple physical thing what you can have in analogy of the circuit. That here the combination of tasks happens, that the door should be open, electricity should be there available, and then you can turn on your desktop. It means if either door is off, then also you will be not able to turn on your desktop. And if door is open but electricity is not there, then also you will be not able to turn on your desktop. So here what we have made the combination of the things, that if so and so thing is going to happen, then only the thing which you require to get output will be available. So this is how you can have the combination of various logical tasks, and that is what we call it as a combinational logic circuit. Another thing is that sequential circuit. Sequential logic circuits are that circuit which will be able to perform in the sequence of task only. It means if first task get completed, then only second task will be done. If second task has completed, then only the third task can be done. Means they will be operated in a proper sequence, and that's why it is known as the sequential circuit. So whenever you want to perform some sequential task, you must be having the information that whether the previous task has been completed or not. Means you need to have the information in the case of sequential circuit, that whether your previous task has been completed or not. And for getting that information, you require to have the memory, because when I say you require, actually these circuits are going to perform the task, right? Whether it is digital circuits made up of combinational logic or sequential logic, it's going to perform some task, and that is going to be done by that circuit itself. We are not going to do it. So the circuit which we want to perform some sequential task, that circuit itself has to have the knowledge of previous task, whether it is completed or not, and for that it requires the memories. And that is why here you will find the difference between your combinational circuit and the sequential circuit. So in definition term, what you can say is that a combinational logic circuit are that circuit which will give you output in some logical way based on present input available only. Whereas in case of sequential circuit, it will give you output keeping present input in mind as well as the previous outputs also. And that's why they are working differently and their principle of operations are also different. Okay, so this is I just given you the brief about types of digital circuits and all that. We are not actually going to discuss this in detail today itself, but this is just a quick recap or you can say quick review about the different types of digital circuits. We'll be discussing all that things in our upcoming lectures, but right now you just keep this thing with you all in mind. Okay, so now is the idea about digital circuit is clear in your mind? Basically, the things you should have is that there are two types of digital circuits. One is that is combinational circuits, other is sequential circuits. We will start with the combinational circuit, and after completing combinational circuits, we will be taking sequential circuit. So first, let us discuss about combinational circuits. As I said, combinational circuit means what? It will be developed with the combination of various parts or you can say various task performing circuit. And this combination circuit is going to give you output only based on present input only. It means what is the right now input condition is. If your input is logic 1, according to that it will give you output, whether it is logic 1 or 0 depends on your logic. But it will not depend on what was the output before this input arrived or what was the input previously applied. These combinational circuits do not depend on that part. It will only observe the present input and based on that it will give you present output. There is no past output, past input condition will be executed in case of combinational logic circuits. So here in combinational circuits, how we will be developing that circuit? So that combinational circuit is going to be developed with the help of various combination of various logical operations. As I just before given you example of that room, that if the door is open, then you can enter. If electricity is available, then you can turn on your PC and all that things. So that is the various number of tasks, and that task can only be performed based on present scenario. That means for going to get your desktop turned on, there must be door open, there must be electricity available, then only you will be getting your output, that is desktop on. If anything is not there, means if door is closed or electricity is not available, then there is the output is that your desktop is in off condition. So I am making this analogy clear to you. So here that's you have to understand. So when I am using word combination, means we are going to make the combination of various logical tasks, and that various logical task performing circuits means it's a logic gates. And there are various conditions you need to execute in your digital part. So for executing all that logical task, we have various logical circuits, and that is what we know as a logical gates, or simply you can say logic gate. So if I just enlist all that names, logic gates, then let us go to the left page here now. So now here you can see that various logic gates available, that is what you can say. I'm just highlighting the name of all the logic gates. So it is AND, OR, NOT, NAND, NOR, XOR and XNOR. So these are all the logical gates. They are performing particular logical task. For example, if I take the example of NOT gate, So what is the task performed by NOT logic gate? Anybody can tell me, because this is something what you are familiar with. You may have learned about this logic gates previously somewhere in the subjects. So anybody can reply me. What do you mean by NOT gate? Yes, anybody? I'm waiting for your reply. No one is giving reply. There any issue? Yes, what you guys saying output is the opposite of input. Yes, very good. Kevin is saying if input is true, then output will be false. Result not to output. Yes, correct. And SLB saying that not is only one input. Correct. Uh, one more. I'm able to see the screen which I'm sharing right now. Hello. Okay. So we are talking about NOT gate. So it's a very basic gate, and its logical task which is going to perform by NOT gate. That is what it is, taking one input at a time, and it will giving you the output in the opposite form. Means if your input is logical 1, your output is going to logic 0. If your input is logic 0, then output is going to be logical 1, right? So that's what the thing with the NOT gate. Similarly, can you tell me about AND gate? Anybody? Instead of typing message in chat window, you should use your mic, unmute yourself and ask me, tell me the answer. That will be better, I think. Anybody? What is NOT gate? Sorry, what is AND gate? Yes, Kevin, can you tell me something about NOT AND gate? Hello. Yes. AND circuit will have two inputs and outputs 1. If both inputs are logic 1 and 0 otherwise. Yes, correct. So this is what the various logic gates. I'm talking to you about combinational circuit. So when I use word combinational circuit, that means that circuit is going to be developed with the help of various type of combination of all these logic tasks, and logic task, or logic task, NOT, NAND, NOR, XOR, and XNOR. So we will be making a different combination to get a particular output. So that is known as the combinational logic circuit. So in this combinational logic circuits, there will be the use of all these logic gates. So before you enter into the discussion of your combinational circuits, you must know about the various tasks performed by all these logical gates. That is, what is the behavior of AND gate, OR gate, NOT gate, everything that you must be aware about before you start with the combinational circuit. So what is AND gate? Let us start with all these gates one by one. Before I start, can you just confirm that right now are you able to see the screen? Just unmute yourself and give a reply.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm showing you right
We
now
can
the theoretical part of this logical gates, right? Okay, so let us first start with the logical AND gate. You can see on screen the symbol of AND gate. This is what the type of symbol we are using to represent the AND gate circuit. Okay. This AND gate is going to be realized with the help of various passive components that we'll be seeing later on, how it will be realized. But right now you understand the symbolical representation and its truth table. So here I have taken two input AND gate. You can see that there are two inputs, input A and input B, and there is one output Y. So the output of AND gate in the form of expression, you can write down like this. How it is written here? It is Y equal to A dot B. So we are using the dot mark between the two inputs to represent that these two inputs are performed a AND operation. That means here you can see in the expression Y equal to A dot B. This expression is known as Boolean expression. Boolean expression means Boolean word is used to represent the expression which will give you only two types of output, whether it is 0 or 1. So this Boolean expression for the AND gate logic is represented like this, that is Y equal to A dot B. Now, what is the logic which will be performed by this AND gate? So that you can understand from the truth table here. Whenever you have two inputs, input A and B here, so for the two inputs, we can have total 4 possibilities. Means either your both the input can be 0, or your both the input can be 1, or either of them 1 and 0 like this. So there are total 4 possibility, or you can say total 4 combination of the input which could be realized at this input cost when you have two inputs. Now for this all 4 possibilities, what is your output? That is Y equal to A dot B. So you can see here that the task which is performed by your AND gate is whenever there is both the logics are 1 at the input side, then and then your output is going to be logic 1. For rest of all other conditions, your output is going to be logic 0. So that is what you can say truth table. Truth table means it will give you the idea about your output condition based on input condition. So here very simple truth table for the two input AND gate we can see, and there we can understand that the two input AND gate will give output logic 1 only when your both the input are at logic 1. Otherwise, it will give you output 0. That means if any one of the input is logic 1 and other is 0, then also output will be 0. Or if both the input are logic 0, then also your output is going to be 0. that clear to everyone? Give me your voice reply so that I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Now here you can see how can we realize this logic gates. So here this is a register transistor logic, that is RTL. You can see the name of this logic realization is called register transistor logic. Means this is a logic gate which is realized by using resistor and transistor. So to realize two input AND gate, we can have this kind of circuitry in the logic symbol. And this is actual circuit, you can see, and here this is what the symbol. So inside this symbol, this kind of circuit could be there. So here we are taking the output, and here we are applying two inputs. And here some resistor and transistor are connected like this. Now before you understand this transistor register logic, or it is a register transistor logic to realize your AND gate, you must know about application of transistor, or you should say like how transistor works. Can you tell me just about something what you know about transistor working? Anybody? Give me reply through voice. How transistor works. So if you know that things, then only it will be easy for you to understand this logic operation. Yes, anybody just give me reply. What things you know about transistor?
Sir, it works
Yes.
like when electrons and holes move from N type to P type or so.
Okay. Anyone else? How transistor will work? Convert alternating current from one voltage to another. No, that is not true, Kevin. Transistor will not convert something. Yes, Vartika, it also works as a switch. Very good. Anyone else would like to add something here? Magnetic induction principle. No, that is also not true, Kevin. In transistor, there is no magnetic induction. The transistor is a totally solid state device. It's a semiconductor device, so there is no magnetic induction concept. Acts as an amplifier to, yeah, correct, Maisali. So basically your transistor is having two applications. One that is, you can say, as an amplifier, and second one it is working as a switch. So this is the two kind of application which we can have using transistor. Let me just brief you about transistor. So transistor will have total 3 terminals and 3 different regions. Okay, so in the 3 regions, here it is not mentioned in the circuit symbol. This is what simply symbol of transistor T1 and T2 is mentioned in the circuit. So what you can say is that Transistor is having total 3 terminals. We call it as the emitter, base, and collector. According to 3 terminals, it is also having 3 different region also. Like in diode, what you have 2 region, P and N, right? Anode and cathode. That is what we have in case of diodes, because there is only 2 regions. But in case of transistor, there are 3 regions. One which is called as emitter, second which is base, and third one is collector. Okay. This transistor can be of 2 types, NPN and PNP, based on the materials layers you are making. Now, when you have this transistor, it will be working in various regions. Based on, you can say, its operating characteristic, you can come to know. To showing that thing, let me take you to some other screen so that you may be able to understand it. Okay, let me draw here so it will be making the clear things. So if I just give you just some small sketch, you can have the transistor like this. Right. Here you can say there is a emitter part first, then base, and then collector. Okay. According to that, we have 3 terminals: one collector terminal, one emitter terminal, and one is base terminal. If it is an NPN transistor, then your emitter will be of N type, base will be of P type, and collector will be again of N type material. And symbolically, you can show it like this. Right? So this is what your collector, this is emitter, and this is your base. So here, these are the transistors for the PN and NPN. If it is PNP, then the material will be different like this. You can say for PNP representation, you can show like here. Emitter is going to be type P, base is going to be type N, and collector is going to be type P. So then it is called PNP transistor. And for that PNP transistor, your symbol is going to be like this something. Your arrow will be like this now. Okay, so there also you can say this will be your base, this is collector, and this will be emitter. Okay, so this is for, you can say, PNP, and this is for, you can say, NPN. Okay, am I making this thing clear to everyone? Can you just reply? Are you able to see the screen what I am showing you right now? I am just showing you sketch and symbol of that transistor. Okay, so this is what about the 2 types of transistor. Now, if I just show you the characteristic means the graph of output versus input. So here, if I just show you that characteristic, in case of transistor, we call input means the input which is given between the emitter and base. There are different things which we are not going to discuss right now, but there are various configurations: common emitter configuration, common base configuration, and common collector configuration. But out of this all, we are using only common emitter configuration. So in case of common emitter configuration, the input means the signal which is given between base and emitter, and output means the signal which is taken between collector and emitter. So in this circuit, if I just show you that part, you can simply see like that. For example, in NPN transistor, we are making emitter common. So you can say your input will be here, that is between your base terminal, emitter terminal, and your output will be between collector and emitter. So if you draw the graph here, between your output means your collector current, and input means you can say it is input voltage here. Here we are plotting the graph of output voltage versus output current, and that is called the output characteristic of the transistor. And that output characteristic of the transistor will be like this. And you might have seen this kind of characteristic. What this shows you, that with the various value of base current, that is input, as base current input increases, you will see that your output is also increases like this. So here there are various regions which I was talking to you. That in the transistor there will be various operating region. In this part, if I just make a line over here, on this side it is called saturation region. Saturation. Okay. And when there is no input, means your IB equal to 0, this lower part is known as cutoff region. Okay, and here in middle, that is called the active region. So this is the three different operating regions. How you can come to know? That is from the output characteristic of your transistors. It means how I am getting that output characteristic, that is based on input and outputs. Means if you get your output voltage, here your output voltage, that is VCE, okay, and here will be your output current, that is IC. So if you plot this graph between output voltage and current, it will look like this, what I just drawn here. And in that, you can find various operating regions, that is cutoff region, active region, and saturation region. What do you mean by cutoff region? Cutoff region means your input is 0. When your input to transistor is 0, obviously your output is also going to be 0. And that is why it is called cutoff region. In that region of operation, your transistor is getting 0 input, and that's why it is giving you 0 output. So we know it is a cutoff region. Now second is saturation region. Saturation region means what? We are giving a maximum input, or you can say logic 1 input, and based on that, your transistor will work as a on switch, means it will give you maximum output in that case, right? So in case of your transistor operating in saturation region, your output is going to be maximum for that particular power supply condition, and that's why it is called saturation. Saturate means it is giving you max what it can give. And the third is active. Third region is called active region, and it is giving you activeness. Activeness means if I am changing input, you are getting change in your output. If I am increasing input, you will see the increase in output. If you decrease input, you will see the decrease in output. Means in this active region, your transistor will give you output which is proportional to input. I hope you are getting what I am to say here. So the three regions of operation of the transistors are cutoff, active, and saturation. When you are operating a transistor in active region, it is called as an amplifier, because in that case, whatever input you are giving, your output will be proportional to input. Means it is, if you are having a 1 volt signal at the input side, then your output may be 5 volt, 10 volt, depending on the gain setting. So that is called active region of operation, and in active region of operation, your transistor will work as an amplifier. Now other two regions are cutoff and saturation. These two regions of operations are there when your transistor will work as a switch. So when you want to use your transistor as a switch between your circuits. In that case, your transistor should be in cutoff region if you want to keep it in off condition, and it should be in saturation region if you want to keep it in on condition. So simply what you have to understand from this discussion is that a transistor will have three regions: emitter, base, collector. We will be connecting it in the common emitter configuration. That means your emitter will remain common between input and output. Your input is given between base and emitter. Output will be taken from collector and emitter. And this transistor will work in cutoff when your input is 0. It means it will give you output also 0 in that case, and it will work as the open switch. And if you are giving input maximum, that is logic 1, your transistor will work as an on switch, and that's why your output will be maximum at that time. Or you can say your transistor will behave as a closed switch, or you can say on switch. Okay, so is that clear to everyone? What is the different region of operation for the transistor? Yes, anybody? Can unmute and give me answer? Have you understood the concept of transistor? I just given you a short brief about transistor working regions, and when it will work as a on, when it will be working as a switch, and when it will be working as a amplifier. Okay, okay, very good. So here, once you understand that your transistor is going to work as a switch or it will work as an amplifier, then it will be easy for you to understand about its RTL logic, which we are using for our logic gates. Now, one thing I would like to mention again here, when we are talking about digital circuits, and whenever we are using transistor to develop any digital circuit, your transistor is going to be used as a switch only. Here in our digital circuits, we are never going to amplify anything, right? Digital signals are never going to be amplified. So there is no need of amplifier. So we will be using our digital circuit, or you may simply say like transistor, as a switch only. So now when I say RTL logic, now look at this resistor transistor logic, which we can use to develop an AND gate. So here you can see the component which we are using is resistor and transistor. So here the transistor which are used, they will be working as a switch only. Means here there are two transistors T1 and T2. So this T1 and T2 transistor are only going to be on and off. It is not going to amplify your signal A or B. Understand this thing, everyone. So here our inputs are A and B, which is given at the input terminal of the transistor T1 and T2 respectively. They are only going to make your transistor T1 and T2 on or off. That's the thing we require in our logic circuits. So now here you can see we are realizing our AND logic gate. So to realize AND logic gate, we are having two inputs A and B, and one output. Here we have taken Q, that is from this resistor R2. Okay. So now you can see here, whenever you just verify our output with the truth table. So let us take the first combination, that your A and B both are 0. So when A and B both are 0, it means what? 0 means we are considering our active high logic here. So 0 means your 0 volt, right? When you say 0 logic, means it is representing a 0 volt here. So when it is a 0 volt here, let me take it to a circuit here again. Okay, I'm going to take a new slide here so that you will be able to understand it. Let me draw the circuit here. So I'm going to draw the two transistor logic circuit here, same which was there on the screen. Okay, so this is the circuit, and here we are going to give the power supply. So let us say something plus VCC, and we are taking output from here, right? So your output will be taken, so let us say your output Q is here, which is equal to A dot B. Okay, and the inputs are here in the base side. Here is our input A is given, and here is input B is given. Let us say these are the resistance R, and this is the resistance R2 across what we are taking our output. Okay, so this is a very simple circuit. This is your transistor T1, and this is the transistor T2. Okay, now when I say both input are logic 0, that means your A is also 0 and B is also 0. Now when you say logic 0 means what? You are applying 0 volt over there. 0 volt means there is no current here, right? The current going here, let us call this IB1 here, and here IB2. Okay, so when I say 0 volt means I am connecting this terminal with the ground. Ground is always considered to be a 0 volt, right? Potential. So when you say 0 volt means you are directly connecting this terminal to the ground, and this is also going to be ground. And that's why your input current IB1 and IB2 both will be 0. And because of that, your transistor T1 and T2 both will work in cutoff. Cutoff means they will be working as an open switch. And when there is an open switch, you can simply understand here that from VCC power supply connection, there is no circuit supply coming here. Means there is no current. I can say here IC, which will be 0 here in the case. Right, as your IB1 and IB2 are 0 because of your A and B 0, your T1 and T2 both are in off condition. T1 is also in off condition and T2 is also in off condition. Off condition means if I show you like a switch, you can understand like this. Your T1 and T2 both will work like an open switch. This is, you can say, off condition. Right, and if it is on, it can be realized like this, something like this. So this is what you can say on condition. So your T1 and T2 both are in off condition, that means open condition. So there is no path for current. So your current cannot come from VCC and travel to T1, T2 and go back to ground here. It means there is no current here. So here also your I is equal to 0. Means there is no current through R2 because your T1, T2 both are in open condition. And as there is no current through R2, according to Ohm's law, you can say your VR2, that is the voltage across your resistor R2, will be given by current into resistance. Here R2 is there, but current is 0, and that's why this is going to be 0 volt, and that's why you are saying your output is also logic 0. I hope you are getting. Now in this, let us take another combination of the input. So if I say my input A is at logic 1 and B is at also logic 1. So if A and B both are at logic 1, there will be some IB1 and IB2 flowing here. Right? So IB1, IB2 is now not 0. And because of that, your T1 and T2 both will be now in on condition. Right? So if your T1 and T2 both in on condition, then you can say there is a flow of current from the top to bottom. That means it will come from VCC, it will travel through this trans T1, T2 and go to the ground. This way, current I will be flowing. So that current I is flowing. So now IR2 will be there, So your 0 volt will not be there now. Now your VR2 will be equal to logic 1, or you can something power voltage. And so here output is going to be logic 1. What is the case? Your input A and B both are logic 1, then only this case can happen. Now remaining two cases, either T1 on or T2 on, means T1 on then T2 off, and T2 on then T1 off. Then also what happens? Here there are two switches should be on, then only this current I can flow, and if current is flowing through R2, then only you will be getting VR2, and then only your output is going to logic 1. So in this case, you can easily understand that for getting output Q logic 1, your T1 and T2 both should be in on condition. Then only your current from the supply can flow through R2 and you will be getting output logic 1. So this is how we can realize the AND logic gate using resistor transistor combination, that is called RTL, or you can say resistor transistor logic. Am I making this thing clear to everyone? How this AND gate can be realized using resistor transistor logic? Yes, anybody can give me the reply?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay, very good. Anyone else? Yes, can you reply me? Have you understood it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Pujan, have you understood it? Okay. So this is about your AND gate. So once you have understood this kind of concept can be utilized in all other gates also. So now it will be easy for you to understand them all. So let's see them now. So now we look at the part which I am showing you. So here this is the circuit which I just discussed in the other part. So whenever your input A and B both are at logic 1, then only you will be getting output logic 1. And for this transistor logic circuit, you can see for when your both the input A and B are there, means at logic 1, your T1 and T2 both will be in on condition, and then you will be getting your output across R2, that is what your Q. So this is how we can realize our AND logic gate using resistor transistor circuit. Similarly, another logic gate which we have is OR gate. So for that you can look at the symbols and Boolean expression and the truth table here. So here you can see the Boolean expression for the OR logic gate is y equal to a plus b, where y is the output of the logic gate and a and b are the inputs. Again here two inputs, that's why there are four possibilities. They both can be 0, both can be 1, or any one 0 and any one is 1. Right? So according to that there are four possibilities. And for these four combinations of inputs, your output y for the OR logic gate is 0 only when both the inputs are 0. It means A and B both are at logic 0, then only your output is logic 0. The rest of all other combination, your output is going to be logic 1. That is, if A is 0 and B is 1, then also output 1. If A is 1 and B is 0, then also output is 1. And when both the inputs are at logic 1, then also your output is going to be logic 1. So this is what the logical statement, or you can say the constraints which OR logic gate is going to perform. That it will give you output logic 1 whenever there is any one of the input at the input side is at logic 1. And when all the inputs are at logic 0, this OR gate will give you output logic to be 0. Now how could you realize this thing using RTL? So here you can see another way of representation given. So here OR gate has been realized using diode circuits, or you can say diode register logic. This can also be used, realized using the RTL, that is the register transistor logic also. I will show you that also. So here you just first understand this part. Let me draw this in our drawing part here. So here, this is a 2-input OR gate, which is realized using diode circuit like this. This will be a ground, and here is your input A and input B, and from here we will be taking our output Q or Y, whatever you say. This is the resistor. Okay. So now look at here. Let us verify the truth table. So whenever your both the inputs are at 0, both are 0 means there is no current here, right? Let us call this current as the I1, and this current as the I2. Okay, and here there is a total current I, you can say, which is flowing through the R. So what will be your Q? Q is equal to I into R. So if I is 0, then Q is 0. So when the A and B both are at 0, your I1 is 0, I2 is also 0. That's why your I will be also and 0, and that's why you can say your Q output will be also 0. Now another case you consider. Let us say my A is at logic 1 and B is at 0. So for that case, what will happen? The current I2 will be 0, but current I1 will be there. And so current I1 is there, so your I is also equal to 1, and that's why you will be getting here your output logic 1. Similarly, you can take another case. Your B is at logic 1 and A is 0. Then what happens? This is not going to be at logic 1, and this is going to be 0, but ultimately your current I will be there, and that's why you will be getting logic 1. And when both are at logic 1, you will find the current here also logic 1, here also logic 1, means your I1 is still there, and that will also give you logic 1. So this is how you can realize your OR gate using diode resistor logic. Now the same thing can also be realized using the you can say using the sorry for disturbance. Let us again come back here. So what I am talking to you is about realization of OR logic gate using diode resistor combination. Previously we have seen AND logic gate using resistor transistor logic. So this OR gate can also be realized using resistor transistor logic. Let me show you that thing here. I am going to show you the circuit for that. Just look at here. Again, we have the two transistors. Okay. There will be two transistors, and you can like this. Here there will be a VCC. Here resistor is there. Input A will be given here. Input B will be given here. And here is the resistor. And from here we will be taking our output Q. We can remove this part also. This resistance can be removed. It can be directly connected here. like this also you can see. Let us say this is your transistor T1, T2. This is T1 and this is T2. Okay, and let us call this is R2. So now you can see the same OR gate can be realized like this also. That means now whenever your A and B both are 0, then only T1, T2 both will be off. And if both are off, there is no current coming from the VCC and going to this R2. For rest of all condition, means if T1 is on, if both are 1, then both will be on, then current can pass through T2 also, T1 also, and it will come to R2. But if A is 0 and B is 1, then you can say T1 will be off, but T2 is on, so current can go from VCC, T2 and R2. In this way, in all the condition, whether it is A is on or B is on or both of them are on, your current through R2 can be there, and that will give you output Q at a logic 1. Right? Because Q is what? It is nothing but current into resistance R2. So if there is I current flowing through this R2, which will be coming from either T1 or T2 or both, then your output is going to be logic 1. So this is called, you can say diode diode resistor logic. So you can say DRL, diode resistor logic, and this is called resistor transistor logic, because here we are using the R resistor and transistor combination. So these both are to realize the OR gate. Is that clear to everyone? Yes, anybody can reply me. Have you understood the concept of this AND gate and OR gate now? Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's go ahead. Now, third is NOT gate. So its symbol and truth table are here. As you know, NOT gate will have only one input. So here only one input A is there, and output Y. The Boolean expression for NOT gate, what we are using is Y equal to A dash. Dash means it is showing you the NOT operation. Right? And here input and output truth table is mentioned. When A is 0, Y will be 1. When A is 1, your Y will be 0. So it's very simple task to understand. It's giving you NOT operation. How it could be realized? You can see here with the help of resistor transistor logic. So here, when A is 0, this transistor is going to be 1. And so when transistor is 1, there will be the flow of current from the VCC to the ground. And that's why there is no voltage. Here you can see when A is 1. Let me take this circuit also there, so you will be able to understand it there. Let me see the resistor transistor logic circuit for realizing the NOT gate. Right, same circuit I am drawing here. Here there is a ground, and here we are applying the VCC. When I say VCC means it is positive voltage, right? It will be either 5 volt or 12 volt, whatever it is. This is your resistance, and here on this side we will be providing the input. Your input A is here, and we will be taking output from here. Between ground. So this is your output Q. So now simply you can see here, whenever your input A is 0, there is 0 current flowing here. Right? So you can say I input is equal to 0. And because of that, your transistor will be working in off condition, or you can say open condition. And because of open condition, the current flowing here, that is what we can say IC, is also equal to 0. And when there is no current flowing through this resistance, you can see the voltage drop across this resistance VR is also going to be 0. And if there is no voltage drop through this resistance, you can see that this voltage VCC will appear here directly. That's why your output going to be logic 1. For other case, when your input A is logic 1, in that case current I here that is flowing, which is not 0, it will be something more higher than 0. So that will make your transistor to be on. When transistor is on, the current IC will be flowing here, and as IC current is flowing, your VR will not be 0 now. In that case, your VR is equal to VCC, and because of that, the voltage available here, that will be 0. In short, simply you can understand, when A is at logic 1, this transistor will work as an on switch, and because of on switch, this terminal is get connected to the ground. That means output Q is going to be equal to 0. So this is how we can have the NOT operation of this logic gates using the register transistor logic. Is that clear? Now once you have this thing clear for the 3 basic gates, this AND, OR and NOT is known as the basic logic gates. Basic logic gates because they can be used to realize any other gates, right? So now the another gates which is coming, let us say for the NAND gate. So this NAND gate can also be realized using the combination of your AND gate and NOT gate. So that's why this is not a basic gates. Your basic gates is AND, OR and NOT. Because this now new gates which we are talking is NAND gate, which is you can say a reciprocal of your AND operation. So here you can see that thing in truth table also. In this NAND gate, your output is going to be 0 only when your both the inputs are at logic 1. It is totally reverse to your AND gate. In AND gate, we have seen that it will be giving you output logic 1 whenever that is both the inputs are at logic 1. For rest of all the condition, your output was 0. Here it is reversed. When both the inputs are logic 1, output will be 0. And for all other cases, your output is going to be logic 1. That you can see in the Boolean expression also. Here it is shown y equal to A dot B bar. One more thing you keep in your mind, between A and B, here there is no dot mark is present, but still we can understand it's an AND operation, right? A, B, when it is written like this, we can simply understand it's A dot B. And here, above A and B, there is a line, which is we call it as a bar. You can say y equal to A dot B bar. That is, it is a NOT operation of AND gate. And symbol is also showing you like that. Symbol is basically looks like an AND gate, but at the output side there is a small circle which is known as bubble. So it is called bubbled AND gate simply. So A and B will be performing first AND operation, and then after it will be given to the NOT gate, and then whatever you get in the output it is called NAND operation. So this NAND operation could be realized using 2 different gates, that is AND gate and NOT gate. Is that clear? Yes, I'm not getting any reply. Have you understood it? Okay, very good. I hope you all also have understood it. Now you look at here how we can realize this NAND gate using register transistor logic. See here the circuit. It is now very common for you because that is the similar kind of circuit which we have used in our AND gate circuit. Here, the difference between the two circuits is you can now see. In AND gate circuit, it was like this. Look at this. Here resistance R2 is connected on the ground side and we are taking the output from here. Whereas in case of NAND circuit, it is like this. Our resistor R2 is connected on the VCC side and we are taking output from here. That's only the change. So here, whenever your input A and B both are at 0, you can see that your transistor T1 and T2 both will be in open condition, and because of that there will not be any current coming from VCC to ground. That means there is no current through R2, and so your output is going to be equal to VCC. That is logic 1. For the case when your input A and B both are at logic 1, where both the transistor will be in on condition, and when T1 and T2 both in on condition, it will connect your output terminal to the ground. That means your output is going to be 0 1. So that is what the basic understanding of this NAND realization using this resistor transistor logic. Is that clear to everyone? After NAND, similar to NAND, there is a NOR gate, which is a combination of your OR and NOT. If you have first perform OR operation and then it will give the output to the NOT gate, it will give you NOR operation. The Boolean expression here it is y equal to A plus B, plus sign we are using to represent OR gate. Right? In Boolean expression, when it is A plus B, it mentions that A and B are performing OR operation. And above A plus B there is a bar, so it represents NOR operation. You can see the truth table here. So here A and B, again 2 inputs, so 4 combinations, and out of 4 combinations, your output will be only 1 when both the inputs are at 0. For all other cases, your output is going to be logic 0. That means when A and B both are at 0, your output is logic 1 here, and for any other combination 0 1 1 0 or 1 1, for all any other combinations your output is going to be logic 0. So this is what the NOR operation. This can be realized using 2 gates, OR and NOT. You can first give your input A and B to the OR gate, and output of OR gate can be given to NOT gate, so that will perform your NOR operation. Okay, here it is the realization using resistor transistor logic. Only the thing changed here it is your T1 T2 will be in parallel. In the AND gate here it is series connection of T1 and T2, and here you can see there is a parallel connection of T1 T2. So that will make the realization of your NOR gate. You can now understand easily in the manner which we had discussed previously for other gates. Similar to that, we will be having exclusive OR gate, or you can say XOR gate. Exclusive OR gate is going to be represented in Boolean expression like this: A exclusive or B, the plus sign, and above there is a circle, so it's showing you the exclusive OR operation. What is the Boolean truth, or you can say truth table for this logic? That is, whenever both the inputs are same, your output is going to be 0. Whether your A and B both are logic 0 or both are logic 1, your output is going to be 0. And when your both the inputs are not same, means they are different. A is 1, then B is 0. B is 1, then A is 0. If they both are not same, for that case your output is going to logic 1. That you can see in the truth table here. And how it can be realized is using this kind of circuits. So here what we are doing is, it is going to be realized by 2 different combinations. First you have to take A and B AND operation, and then A and B NOR operation. And both the outputs are again applied to one more AND gate. You can see the combination here shown with the symbol. First there will be a OR operation of A and B, and then there is a NAND operation of A and B, and that output will be perform an AND operation to realize the A XOR B. So here symbolically combinations are given for the gate and as well as transistor resistor logic also present. Right? It is just a combination of the gates which we have just talked previously. Similarly, there is another exclusive NOR gate. It is the, you can say, reverse of your exclusive OR gate. And this will be gate which is providing you output logic 1 whenever there is both inputs are same. Means A and B both are 0 or both are 1. Then only your output going to be 1. The other combinations means when A and B are not same, they are different, then output is going to be logic 0. And it is realized using the transistor logic circuits like this. It is again similar circuits but look smaller right now. Right? Circuit is here you can see the transistors. There are first one NOT gate here, one NOT gate here. So they will be performing your A bar and B bar. That will be given to the AND gate here, and one more AND gate is here. And that output will be given here to one more OR gate. Okay, so this is how it is going to be realized to the register transistor logic. So this is what basic information, or you can say the theoretical part about all the logical gates, that is basic AND or NOT gates, and then NAND, NOR, and exclusive or exclusive NOR gates. So am I making this thing clear to everyone that what is all these various logic gates all about? Yes, everybody? Okay, very good. Now those who are having the desktop or computer, I'm just going to give you one link in the chat window that you can use to log in to virtual lab. That is what we can use to understand this concept in more clear way. So I'm just putting a link in the chat window. You can use it to get login to a virtual lab. If you are not having desktop and you are not able to log in that, don't worry. I'm just going to show you that things with my login here also. So now here look at the simulation window. I am going to show you in the same virtual lab tab here. So let us see first about AND gate. So what are the things we were talking that you can see here? So can you all see the circuit of this simulation slides of virtual lab?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you look at in this simulator circuit. Here there is a transistor symbols for the transistor T1 and T2. Here it is mentioned Q1 and Q2. To see whether output is logic 1 or 0, there is one bulb is connected as a supply VCC. There is a battery, and when I double click on this battery, you can see it will be connected to the circuit, right? And now there are switches are given: switch 1, switch 2, and switch 3. Here switch 1 is given to power up your whole circuit. So let us be on it. So now you can see the lines made green. That's showing you that the supply is connected to the circuit. This is the same circuit of the AND realization, RTL. Now here there are two switch 2 and 3 are given that you can consider like input A and input B. So if I switch, if I make the switch 2 on, it shows you the line green and showing you that your logic input to A is 1, and when I make this switch 3 on, you can say both the logics are 1, and that means your transistor Q1 and Q2 both are in on condition, and that's why you are getting the output. You can see the bulb is now in a glowing condition. If I made any one of the input 0, you can see that your lamp is in now off condition. So this is what the simple thing you have to understand here in this experiment with this simulator circuit, that how the AND gate is working. right? According to our truth table, you can see that whenever your both the inputs are at logic 1, then and then your output could be 1. So here you can see when I make both the inputs switch 2 and 3 in on condition, it makes my output to logic 1. That's why I'm getting the lamp in on condition. For any other combination, when you have both the switch 2 and 3 in off condition, or any one of this in on and other is off, you will be seeing that your output is not working. It means your output is 0. So this is how you can perform the task of your logic gates here in these simulator circuits. Another way of performing this is in the here simulator 1 and 2 slides are there, 2 tabs are there, you can say. When I click on the simulator 2, you will see another part of simulation. What here you have to do is, here you have to check your truth table with this circuit. For example, if I enter 0 in the input A, if I enter 0 in the input B, now I know that for this AND gate logic circuit, if my both the input is 0, my output should be also 0. If I put here 1 instead of 0, which is wrong, and if I click on this check, you will see in here table that your remarks showing you incorrect. Incorrect means your output which is mentioned here for the input combination is not correct. If I put output 0 for the 0 input condition, and if I put check here, you see here in the table, it shows you the remarks correct, that your outputs and input combinations are correct. So this is how also you can verify the performance of your AND logic gate. Now this all similar things you can perform with the remaining gates: OR gate, NOT gate, NAND gate, NOR gate, and exclusive OR and NOT gates. So that is what your task. So take a few minutes. Those who are able to log in can just check this performance. As I shown you here for the AND logic gate, you can do it for remaining gates. And those who are not able to understand these things, they can just ask me here for the query, so I can reply them with the answer. So are you able to do it in your simulator? Or anyone getting any problem in that? Just check it out for all the bits. Those who are having any query to understand this, let us ask me the question, so I can give you the answer. Yes, very good. everyone just go to that virtual lab tab and just check out all these logic gates. So it will be making your concept about this logic gate clear. Yes, you need to check for all the gates, yes, so that it will be making your concept clear. But it is just for checking and making your understanding more clear. Okay, for those who are not able to do the login and check it out, let me show you here only. So let us do it one by one. We have done AND gate, so now let's go to the OR gate. So when you click on the OR gate, you will see this thing. In that, there are two simulator slides again, simulator 1 and 2. In simulator 1, here there is a diode register logic circuit is developed. Again, you have to double click on this battery symbol, so it will be connected to your circuit. Now there are two switches. When I press switch 1, it will give the output logic 1, because you can see the bulb at output is showing you 1. And if I keep both in off condition, you will see that output is 0. That means your logic 0 lamp is in off condition. So for getting output, either both switches should be in on condition or any one of them should be in on condition. So you can check out their 4 combinations 0 0, 0 1, 1 0 and 1 1 and see the lamp condition for observing the OR operation here. The same thing we can check out in simulator 2 here again. Now for OR operation, you can see when I say let my input A and B both are at logic 1, and if I make your output 0, and if I put click here check, it shows you remarks incorrect, because this is OR gate, and for both the input to logic 1, your output must be logic 1, and then if you check it out, you will see that the remarks show you correct. So this is how you can also again verify the OR gate operation with the two types of simulator here. One is using verifying your logic inputs, other is using some circuits like this. Now similar to this, let us go to the NOT gate. In that also you have a logic circuits here like this, using resistor transistor. Double click on battery, so it will be connected. Switch on the first switch, so it will power up your circuit. Right now you can see when your switch 2 is in off condition, that means your input is logic 0. So your output lamp is on, means your output is logic 1. If I press your input switch to 1, means your input is logic 1, your output is going to be 0. So your bulb will be in off condition. So this is how you can verify it. The same thing you can do in the simulator here. You can put input 0 and output 0, then you will see that incorrect remarks. And for input 1, output 0, input 0, output 1, you will see the correct remark here. You are asking that you need to take a screenshot. No, there is no need to take screenshot of your performance. You just need to check it out, and after the completion of this lab session, I will be sharing you the Word file of this experiment. and in that Word file you need to click on some options of questions and all that, and you need to upload that assignment. Sorry, I should not say assignment, but the laboratory menu in the canvas will be uploading very soon, right? Yes, is showing that I should show OR gate again. Okay, let me show you OR gate. Yeah, look at here. So here is OR gate. Now in OR gate, you can see right now switch 2 is in on condition. So one switch is in on condition. That means your one input, one is 0, another is 1. So for 0-1 combination, your output should be on. You can see that your lamp is in on condition. But if I make both the switch in off condition, that means 0-0, then for 0-0 input combination, your lamp will be in off condition. That means your output is 0. So here, this is how you can check out all the conditions. Both 2 is off, 1 is off, 2 is on. In all that condition, you can see that output is going to be logic 1. That same thing you can go to check in simulator here. When input is, let's say, 0-1, I know that when my input A is 0 and B is 1, my output should be 1 only. And if I put check here, you can see the correct remarks here, right? But if you make here the output 0, means it is against your combination, and if you check it out, you will see that here it is incorrect. Is it okay? Yes? Thank you. You can take it out for this now, remaining case. And for that, what you have to do in the work for the manual, let me just show you this file here. You just check it out here. Okay, so this kind of Word file I will be sharing to you. That will be aim of the experiment, mode of experiment, that is online or offline. Right? This can be done online or offline both. So I mentioned both that thing here. The link of virtual lab, which I just showed you, that is also mentioned in their experiment. Right? Some apparatus, this can be done in multi-sim software also. Okay. After that, there will be a space given here. So there you have to draw symbolic diagram of all the logic gates here. Okay. And then after one more task here mentioned, it is pin diagram of your IC. See, this all logic gates are available in a IC chips. Here 74 IC chip series is there. So you need to search it out from the Google. Here it is already mentioned. See, NOT gate means it is IC 7404. Then after OR gate means it is 7432. Okay, input AND gate means 2 input AND gate 7408, like this. So you need to search out from the Google all these ICs, and you need to just take a screenshot like this of that IC picture, and you need to paste it in this. Right here, XNOR gate IC is already taken from that for your understanding. Similar thing you have to do for all remaining gates, and then you have to fill out this table with that circuit image. After that, here you have to show transistor as a logic gate, means RTL, register transistor logic. So how you can realize your NOT gate using register transistor logic, NAND gate, NOR gate, OR gate, and AND gate. You need to represent with that diagram here in this. You need to draw it. Okay. And then after here, you have to mention this online procedures of virtual lab. You need to write down what is the procedure to check out and perform this logic gate on that virtual lab. And here multi-sim procedure. If you are performing this experiment using multi-sim, then what is the procedure you have to do here? But right now you are not going to do this. You are ignore this virtual multi-sim procedure, because you are only going to do virtual lab online. So that you have to write down here step by step. Okay, that you need to go to this virtual lab link, open that particular logic gate simulator circuit, how you are performing that, how you are checking. Okay. This is the for understanding or and not AND gates are given using diode logic circuits. And then after mentioning all the procedure, you need to write down your conclusion. That after performing this experiment, what you have understood, that you have to write down in this conclusion. And after conclusion, there are some multiple choice questions. MCQs are there. This is based on the logic tables and logic gates we have understood. So you need to just in your Word file, you can highlight it like this. Okay, so you select it and mark it highlighted with some other colors. Okay, or you may just underline it. Whatever correct option you selecting, you just underline it. Anyway, means you need to highlight your particular option, or you can just add one line over here as an answer, and you just mention the correct answer in that answer line. Whatever way you prefer, you can do it. So for all these MCQs, you have to choose the correct answers, and after completing this, you have to submit this in the Canvas. I will be informing you about Canvas procedure and how you can upload your menu there. So that I will be talking to you in our next coming lab. But meanwhile, you can prepare this part. Okay, I will be sharing this worksheet with you within a few days, and then you can start working on this experiment number 1. Is that okay to everyone? Have you understood it? How you have to complete this experiment part? Yes, Nasirji Vatika, you are giving the reply. Usually is giving reply. That's okay. Okay, very good. Now use this few minutes to perform your experiment. Those who have not completed yet, and ask me the questions whatever you have. Yes, I am waiting for your questions. If you have any questions, please let me know so that we can discuss on that. And meanwhile, you can keep on working with that experiment part. Anyway, if you don't have any questions, let us we end our session today here. So before we end our session, everyone please enter your attendance in chat window with your enrollment number. Hello everyone, please give your attendance by your number.
Sir, 118.
Kevin, can you enter it in chat window also? 118, your number. Kevin, that's I am asking you. Can you just enter your number in chat window also?
Sir, network issue, so not send.
Okay, no issue. 118, okay, I will keep it in mind. I will add them. Okay, so I think everyone have entered the number for attendance. So today we are ending it here. We'll be discussing about more topics in our next coming sessions, and I will be introduce your whole subject with syllabus and all COPs and everything in our coming lectures. Okay, so have a nice day. Okay. So now I'm going to close the session. You may all can leave now.